Well, episode 1. Welcome, Frank. Let's. I think we're going to introduce it. I think over the course of the next however long you're willing to stay, it's going to be tales of the countryside of hunting big cats in Oxfordshire and inventions, terrier racing, and everything else.
Sloe gene.
Sloe gene is one of those ones, I think, in the countryside that everyone. It's like rabbits in the water, isn't it? Everyone always expects country people to make sloe gin. It's one of those things.
I make sloe gin. I don't actually drink it, and we have experimented over time. And we had a session about 3 years ago. A friend of my partner's wanted to make some, so we got the telehandler out and put the two girls in the top of a bush, me at the bottom, and we picked 28 pound of sloes off this one bush at the end of our road, and that wasn't all of them. It was a good year. Anyway, Viv, the friend, had turned up with all manner of sugars: demerara sugar, muscovado sugar, caster sugar, ordinary white sugar, and we labelled them all up, the bottles, and I turned them religiously every couple of weeks till about Christmas time, and then we decanted them down. And I was doing the decanting, and every time a pile of used sloes came out, I strained them off in a coffee cafeteria, because it filtered them well and you poured the gin into the bottles. And I feed we call him a pet fox, he's a wild fox, Toby, on my patio every night. And I put all these different piles of different sugared sloes. They'd only tasted of sugar. I tried them, they didn't taste of sloes, or gin, they just tasted of sugar.
They'd already been in the gin at this point.
They'd been in the gin, okay. And I put these piles along. And there was about 6 or 7 piles of sloes out there, 500 grams in each. And next morning, every pile had gone, apart from the caster sugar, which they hadn't touched one. And 3 weeks later, I had to go up there and sweep him up because he never came back for any more. Now, whether he was wandering around North Oxfordshire with a blinding hangover and couldn't take any more, or whether he just didn't fancy the caster sugar, but it was quite interesting that they had every sloe. It might have been more than one fox.
Did you get cameras on him? Did you know it was a fox? Or?
Oh, yeah, I know it's a fox. We see him from time. He's the darkest fox I've ever seen. He's so dark red, he's almost black.
Yeah.
And a lovely strong fox. And if Sarah always says if someone came to dinner and they went out the room to do something, if there are any chicken drumsticks or anything left on the plate, they were out the window and they'd come back and say, "Where's my dinner gone?" But the fox had it, you know. Yeah.
Well, did you see the GWCT?
We know he's there because one night Sarah was sat against the patio door doing some work, and she saw something move outside the door, and she thought, what's Jack, my terrier, doing out there? And then she thought Jack was actually just came through the other door, and she looked around and the fox was looking at her from 3 feet away. Yeah, he got remarkably tame, really. Well, he was very well fed.
Yeah, and he comes back as well, because did you see the GWCT? They did that data tracking on foxes, and they go something stupid like 28 miles. I
saw the one in Hampshire that went 20 miles, and then a gamekeeper eventually caught it down the Test Valley somewhere.
I think that's the one. Yeah.
And that was a female fox as well, and you wouldn't think the females would roam as much as the males.
No.
But yeah, that was quite incredible. I've seen in the USA they put a tracking collar on a cougar on a pure mountain lion, and that went 2,000 miles. It went from California right up to the Canadian border.
Wow.
From May till October.
They actually have problems with those and young children, though, don't they? You don't really have that with
hikers
foxes.
Mainly. And
hikers,
they're getting, so they take more. I like to read a good account of a hiker getting eaten in America.
Aren't they going to put those in Northumberland?
Their links are on about releasing Kilda foresters.
They're not.
I don't think it happened. Natural England, the protests from the sheep farmers up there are long and loud.
Yeah.
And understandably so, because any big cat will always go for the easy meal.
Yeah.
And the sheep's a lot easier to catch than the deer, isn't it? They think they'll control the deer numbers.
And they got wallabies there.
Rabbits maybe, but I can't really see it.
Well, actually, also, by the way, I was thinking, just as you were saying how much sloes you picked, the danger with that is how much the gin costs afterwards, because that's what I always do. I pick so many, and then you get to the shop and you realise how much you've got to pay for the amount of gin you need after you've picked half a barrel of sloes.
Yeah. My recipe is 1 litre of gin, 500 grams of sloes, and 250 of sugar. The first lot I made, we had twice as much sugar in, and it didn't dissolve out, and it was in the bottom of the bottle. The cleaning lady loved it. She got a bit giggly, but she likes things sweet. Yeah.